Now, dear students, what will happen when a body is in motion? Means, what kind of effect can be seen while body is moving or while body is in motion? Simply, physical quantities occur, means different physical quantities start to occur when a body is in motion or when a body is moving. Now, number one, it can be distance travel, means our body can travel some distance when it is moving or when it is in motion. Simply, now you have to deal what is distance travel, the total distance or the net distance covered by a moving body irrespective of its directions. Means any direction, whether it is moving, whether it is in a zigzag path, circular path, straight path, again it is coming back, means when it is reversing back to the again original position, doesn't matter. Means you need to take the entire total length. That entire total length and the total distance is covered by that particular body is said to be distance travel. Means total distance or the net distance. It is definition, you have to remember the total distance is covered by a moving body irrespective of its direction. Means any direction whether it is moving is called distance travel. It can be measured easily by using the odometer. Now you might have been using the vehicles like motorbikes or maybe the car. You might have seen something kilometer is traveled by that moving car or the moving bikes or the moving any vehicles. You might have seen something kilometer. That exactly that meter or the kilometer is shown by the odometer. That device is known as odometer. The odometer is used to just measure the distance travel or the distance covered by a moving body. Now, what is the SI unit? Now, what is meaning of SI unit? Because you might have already studied about the SI unit in the previous classes in the class 8 or maybe in class 7. Means system of international D unit. Means internationally level it is valid. Means every country or everybody has understand what exactly this unit mean. Means the SI unit used for length or the distance is meter. It is however it is the smaller unit, but you can use for your convenience kilometer or the miles it is. So SI unit of distance travel is meter, and while kilometer, miles, all these are the larger unit used to represent the longer distance or the larger distances. Now, what kind of quantity is the distance travel or the distance covered? Whether it is vector or the scalar, it is a scalar quantity. Means it is dependent on the only magnitude, not in its direction. Here I have shown some diagrams here, examples here. Number one, here you may see a body is starting from the position A and it is just moving here and there, means in a zigzag position, and again it is returning back to the B. Means for this condition, what will be the distance travel? So distance travel D means no arrow sign, means it is the scalar quantity. So D equal to total length of A to B. Means here you need to just measure the total length from position A to B, and it will be the distance covered or the distance traveled by that body. Okay. Now next position, example number 2, if a body is moving in a straight path from A to B, then same formula, distance traveled D equal to total length of A to B or B to A, anything else. Suppose when body returns back from, means starting it went to A to B and again it came back to B to A, means what will be the total distance travel or the total distance covered? Means you have to take the length from A to B and again from B to A, means you have to add the both lengths. Suppose when you went from your house to Chowk, means 2 kilometer ahead, and again you have returned from that Chowk to your house, means 2 kilometer, means total distance covered by you gonna be 2 plus 2, that is 4 kilometer. And what will be the formula or what will be the distance covered by a circular moving object? Simply you have to take the length of this circumference. Means total length means in the net length from starting point means initial point to the again ending point, that is the distance covered by that body. So next topic we're going to study about displacement. Now, number 2, what is mean by displacement? What do you mean by displacement? Simply, the shortest distance. The shortest distance traveled in a specified directions is called displacement. Same, its SI unit is meter, symbol small m. It is a vector quantity. Since it has both magnitude and directions. Now, dear student, let us see what is meaning of displacement. Simply, you have to write the shortest distance travel. That means the shortest distance travel in a specified directions is called its displacement. Means when a body is moving in a specified directions, then that body is said to have displacement, and its SI unit is just similar SI unit that of the distance covered of the travel, that is the meter. It is the standard unit or the standard SI unit of length. Now, what kind of quantity is displacement? It is a vector quantity. Remember, the distance covered or the distance traveled is a scalar, but displacement is vector quantity. Now, question may arise, why sir it is vector quantity? Simply, you have to write displacement is a vector quantity because it has both magnitude and its direction. Simply means you may write means D arrow. This arrow is representing the displacement in a specified direction, maybe toward the east, maybe toward the north, maybe any directions. Means why do you write? Means you have to mention the direction along with its magnitude. Then only it is displacement. Means we are indicating the displacement. Otherwise, it gonna be, means if you are writing only the magnitude and if that body is moving in any direction and you are taking the total length, then at that time it is distance covered. But when you take the shortest distance between that initial point and the final point, then that small or the shortest distance is taken as a displacement in that particular direction. Suppose here let us see one example. Suppose from A for a straight path, suppose it is east side, then you may write displacement 10 km east. Suppose next condition, if a body has moved from A to B and it came to C, means it is moving in these directions. Then you have to take it out, what is the shortest distance between this initial and final. Means here, suppose maybe anything else, 15 kilometer. For circular cases, now dear student, let us see here some conditions, some cases. Number one, for a straight path. Suppose if a body is moving from position A to B and if it is 10 kilometer distance towards its, then therefore you can easily write the displacement D arrow means D vector equal to 10 kilometer east. And for this, distance covered also become same, means gonna be same thing, 10 kilometer. No need to mention but directions, but in these cases distance covered and displacement gonna same magnitude. But in case number 2, you can see if a body is moving from A to B and again it is coming from B to C, then the shortest distance from A to C means initial point, starting point and the final point means C point. What is the shortest distance? Suppose here I mention D equal to 15 kilometer towards AC. Then here is the displacement. But distance covered gonna be AB plus length of AB plus BC. That is the distance traveled. But here displacement means 15 kilometer towards AC. For circular condition, means when a body is moving in a circular direction or the circular path, means what is the displacement at the time? Because not to forget, in distance travel, distance covered, we have written the length of entire circumference, means perimeter or the circumference of that circular path was distance covered. But here displacement becomes 0. Because what is the shortest distance between the initial point A and the final point B? There is no any distance. Because there is the 0 distance. So displacement therefore equal to 0. Means you have to understand, if our initial point and the final point of a moving body is same, at that time displacement becomes 0. But distance covered is entire length from initial to the final point, even though it is meeting at the same point, doesn't matter. So for here, again straight path, but it is coming back to same initial point, and at the time also displacement gonna be 0. Means suppose body is started from moving from position A to B and again from B it has returned back to the A, which was initial point, which was the starting point. Then what is displacement at the time? Just you have to write directly displacement equal to 0, because you may write in the reason, in the box, in a bracket, since the initial point A and final point of that moving body is same A, it has come back to the same starting point A, so displacement is 0. But distance covered gonna be twice of AB length. So this is about the distance covered and the displacement. Means when a body is moving, then it might have covered some distance covered and the displacement. So here are the different cases in examination. Some questions maybe in among these cases can be asked. Means what gonna be suppose if I given in these cases, means calculate the displacement, then you have to calculate in this way and calculate the distance travel. Means here is the major difference. Means while you mention the displacement, you have to mention the direction, and it is taken the shortest distance between the initial and the final point. But distance covered is scalar quantity. It does not need to depend on the direction at first, and you have to take the entire length. So difference, you can just have a difference between the distance covered and the displacement. Means you have to write difference. Number 2, what kind of quantity it is? It is scalar, means distance covered, but displacement is a vector quantity, means it is strictly dependent on its both magnitude and the directions. And here are the some major cases you have to remember. Means what is displacement and the distance traveled in straight path, in a rectangular, means in a right angle triangle path, in a circular path, or maybe in a straight path, but here again body is coming back to the same point.